Hello again. Okay, we are at Victoria Station. I happen to be at Victoria Station because I've just filmed the Route 185 from Victoria to Lewisham Station and back. So I thought I'd have a look at the new bus, well not the new bus terminus, but the revamped bus terminus, show you what changes have been made and just have a general walk towards central London. Of course, having been on the bus for about 2.5 hours, I needed to go to the toilet. There was a queue in the toilet for the men's cubicles, and a man came out the cubicle with his bicycle. I've never seen that before. I suppose he had nowhere to park it. I normally go in a cubicle with a young man, but there you go. Okay, we're in the concourse of Victoria Station. And we'll go out via the bus station. It wasn't a fold-up bike. I don't know how he got it in there. Let's have a look at Victoria Station. Out the station, one of the entrances into the bus terminus. It's changed a lot over the last few years. They built new entrances, changed the bus terminus. Around. Two things I want to say. There's one of the new entrances to the underground. The frontage of Victoria Station in all its glory. This terminus here seems to be devoid of buses. Alright. So I'm still walking around front of the station. I just want to cross and have a look at a couple of these bus termini just to explain one or two things. Okay, one of the bad things about this terminus is you have to cross the road to get to the buses, and unfortunately here where I am now, a lady was killed a few weeks ago. I think a Route 507 went into the back of another 507 and then knocked this lady over and killed her, unfortunately. That's a problem with this bus station, is you have to cross the road to get to the buses, and of course there's always buses coming through. Alright, the 390s come in here, they're new route masters. 390s, obviously, as I've told you before, I used to drive the 390s. They used to go to Notting Hill Gate, then they got diverted down to Victoria Station instead. That's when the 73s got pegged back to Oxford Circus. So the 73s now terminate at Oxford Circus, and the 390s come here instead. That happened a few years ago. I can't remember how many years ago. And then you've got the 38s coming here. I can't believe there's no 38s here at the moment. There's no 38s in the bus station at the moment. I wonder why that is. Oh well, I was going to talk a bit about 38s as well, but there ain't none here. I can still talk about them, I suppose. Okay, this built bit has been rebuilt. This was a building site for many years, so buses can now serve this part of the bus station as well through services. Let's just walk down here, have a look. So this part was a building site for many years, but now they've reopened it, so through buses can serve this stop E for Elephant. As you can see, the 2s and the 36s, here's one now, they can come through the bus station instead of past the bus station.
Customers travelling with buggy.
Okay, walking back towards Victoria Street. So as you see, the 12s and the 36s can come through here now. Say the 12s? I meant the 2s. I'm so old I can't read anything nowadays, but the 2s and the 36s can come through here now. I don't know what's happening on the 38s. I'll have to ask my colleagues when I go in tomorrow. But there ain't no 38s in the stand. And that's what I was going to mention about 38s was it's one of those buses that's had its number reduced over the past few months. In the last week, the number was reduced from 43 to 36 buses. Now, about a year ago, it was reduced from 53 to 43. And then just in the last week, it's been reduced down again to 36 buses. So on a route 38 from Victoria to Clapton, within a year, the number of buses on the route has now been reduced from 53 to 36 buses. There's the 390 with a wrap on it. A number of the bus routes that's happened to recently, partly due to the pandemic, due to TfL finances, lower number of people using the buses. So the 29s from Wood Green to Trafalgar Square, that's been reduced just to 31 buses now. A few years ago it was over 40 buses. 254s from Aldgate to Holloway, that's been reduced recently as well. So there's a lot less buses. Now those routes which have new route masters on them, or Boris buses, or LTs, or NRMs, whatever you like to call them, like the 38s and the 254s, their buses have to be repurposed, because as you probably know, this spot's called Little Men, by the way. As you probably know, the new route masters are not owned by the bus operators, they're owned by TfL. So as buses are taken off new route master routes, they have to be repurposed elsewhere by TfL. They decide where they're going to go. A good example is, I think about a year ago, when the Route 38 was reduced from 53 to 43 buses, those spare buses went to Arriva Enfield garage for the Route 313. Route 313 goes from Chingford to Potters Bar, and that was a single-decker route. Very busy though, single-decker route, so it's a good idea to make it double-decker. The single-decker route from Chingford Station to Potters Bar Station, with a school bus that went on to Dame Malisowen School in Potters Bar. So there are only 8 buses on the route, 7 single-deckers and 1 double-decker. So those buses that came off the 38s were repurposed to the Route 313. So they'll end their lives on the Route 313. And other routes have become new route masters. Someone mentioned to me the other day the Route 349. Route 349 from Ponders End in North London through to Stamford Hill it goes now. It used to go to Stoke Newington, it's cut back to Stamford Hill. That's now a new route master. And I saw an article that said the Route 111, which goes from, I think, Heathrow to Kingston. Those buses are now a new route master as well. So as new route masters are taken off one route, they're repurposed onto another route by TfL because they own the buses. And I don't suppose these buses can be used outside of London. Because the big problem is with the new route masters is they've got 3 doors. So you used to be able to get on and off all 3 doors, but now because the number of free riders, you can only get on the front door of a new route master now. You can't get on the middle door or the rear door. So if you want to board a new route master, the whole idea of boarding by any of the three doors has gone out the window. You have to board by the front door so that the driver can see that you're paying for your fare. Of course, that was the problem with the old bendy buses as well. So TfL were losing too much money by people not paying for their fare on the old bendy buses, and now the new route masters as well. And also these new route masters, I don't think any company outside London would want a new route master because they're just not suitable. They'd have to seal up the doors somehow. The bendy buses, they were a problem. As I said, they were a problem because they had 3 doors. TfL were losing money, but they were very good otherwise. They had some problems, but they were good in the fact that being single-decker, you didn't have this problem with people having to go up and down stairs and falling down the stairs. Oh, wait for me, driver, I'm just coming downstairs. They held more people than a double-decker, even though they were single-decker articulated bus. And boarding and alighting was much quicker as well, as they had 3 doors. The problem was people not paying the fares, and also there was a social problem because they were used as housing for homeless people. A lot of homeless people, and used to have a lot of sleepers on the bus. Used to have a lot of sleepers on the bus on the bendy buses, and of course you take a bendy bus out, that's a big chunk. I mean, like on the Route 29, for instance, Route 29 from Wood Green to Trafalgar Square. When it was a bendy bus route, it had 29 buses. 29 buses. When it went back to being double-decker, when Boris decided to get rid of the articulated buses, it had to go over 40 buses. So instead of having 29 buses, 29 drivers at any one time, you suddenly had to ramp up to over 40 buses and 40 drivers, so it's a lot more expensive. Now the 29's come down recently to 31 buses, only 31 buses on Route 29 now. So it used to have 29 articulated buses, now it only has 31 double-deckers. Right, we're in Victoria Street now, heading towards Westminster Abbey. I have to try not to get run down by a lorry or anything. Across the road is another new entrance to Victoria Underground Station. The what do they call that? The Cardinal Building entrance. The Cardinal Place entrance. Sorry. The Cardinal Place entrance. Maybe I'll cut across and we'll have a look at it. Yeah, we can cross it. So the number of buses in London is being reduced. Bus routes are being cut back. The length is being reduced and the number of buses being reduced. Especially in the Oxford Street area. And Oxford Circus is supposed to be going semi-pedestrianised. I don't know if and when that's going to happen, but the whole idea is you'll only be able to drive north-south along Regent Street. The Oxford Street section will be cut off like a worm cut in two. I don't know if and when that's going to happen. So this is the Cardinal Place entrance to Victoria Station Underground. This has got a relatively new building here. This has got a shops in it. The usual rubbish. Okay, we'll go back down Victoria Street. Sorry, that's brilliant with this gimbal thing. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say, I'm not doing this one live. Last Sunday, those of you who did watch it, Peter and Guy, I think the two people who watched it. Last Sunday I did this walk from Caledonian Road to Primrose Hill live. I had to be in 4 sections due to various reasons. We stopped for a coffee, then we stopped for rain, then I was streaming it the wrong way around. So it was a bit of a disaster really. What I've done, I've downloaded the videos and I've bolted them all into one long video. And I'll have a look at that, see if it's any good. But the quality wasn't that good. That's the thing I'm worried about when I'm doing a live broadcast. Although I bought more data and I uprated to 5G, the network was still cutting out. Cut out 3 or 4 times, very annoying, while I was filming. And the quality I don't think was very good. Although people say it was okay, I wasn't happy with it. So unless it's something actually happening at the time, I don't think it's worth doing a live broadcast. Traffic stopped when the lights are still on green. I don't think it's worth doing a live broadcast unless something is actually happening at that time. Like the only one that was worthwhile was the Aldwych going 2-way. That was actually happening at that point, so it was worth doing a live broadcast. But otherwise, the quality ain't that good. So I'm recording this one. I do have quite a large amount of memory on this phone, so it should record it all right. I'm not going to go on for too long today. And ahead of us is Westminster Cathedral, not to be confused with Westminster Abbey. Westminster Cathedral, which is the Roman Catholic cathedral, where our glorious leader Boris got married recently to the lovely Carrie. I think that was done in a bit of a hurry. I think they were planning to get married in next year, but they did it this year because of the G7 meeting in Cornwall. So they wanted to be a married couple because obviously President Biden is very religious, and they probably wouldn't want to meet an unmarried couple. And the Queen, of course, is very religious, being head of the Church of England. So she wanted to go to the G7 meeting being Mrs. Johnson rather than Miss Carrie Simmons. Anyway, they got married at the Roman Catholic Cathedral there. Even though he's twice divorced. They can bend the rules if they want to. I'm sure our Lord Jesus allows it. We'll just walk down the back streets here. Victoria Street itself isn't pretty boring. It's got government buildings and shops. So down the back a bit. So walking in the general direction of Parliament Square and Westminster Abbey. Oh, I'm stalking another woman. What's that? It's gone wrong way. This is an old post office building. Howick Place, southwest one, around the back of Victoria Street. Oh, I almost fell down a hole. Okay, there's a sort of market in Strutton Ground. I think it's a sort of street food market where people get their lunch. We'll have a look at that as we go past en route to Parliament Square. Artillery Row. I'll go back to Victoria Street. This is a lovely old pub. One old building in a sea of modern buildings. buildings surrounded by modern buildings. Nutter there with the police.
The government elected, you are all right. You make the police officer. The police camera over the front.
Okay, we're walking along Victoria Street towards Parliament Square, Westminster Abbey. Ground. Sorry, mate. Okay. Thanks very much. Yes, sorry. Yeah, this is Stratton Ground off Victoria Street. They have a sort of street food market here. I think it's basically for people to buy their lunch. We'll just have a look down it.
The man of action. Sorry. Got someone's way there. Okay, so there's a lot of complete variety of food here. Indian, Spanish, Greek, etc. And some non-food stalls. I think it's only open Monday to Friday. It's the first time I've actually seen it open because I normally walk around here at the weekend with any time.
In this area of Westminster, there's a lot of civil servants. Okay, so we're on Stratton Ground, walking back towards Victoria Street. Pretty anonymous along this section of Victoria Street. More new buildings being built on the left. Government buildings on the right. Carry on.
So basically, like forever, it's been.
Okay, we'll dive into one of the back roads behind Parliament Square. I've got more interesting buildings, etc. There's a lot of building work going on here.
Yes, well.
Cut across to Tothill Street from Victoria Street. Some nice buildings around here. The old London Transport headquarters there, 55 Broadway, on top of St James Station, St James Park Station. That's the old London Transport headquarters. to Dartmouth Street, Southwest 1, one of the back streets of St James's. More building work being done.
Samuel, I'm on about it. Yeah, so I think they go to him as well.
Nice looking pub there, the two chairmen. Moving to Old Queen Street, Southwest 1.
I'll try. Thank you.
Nice sort of balcony room here. Apartment block. So we're in Old Queen Street, Southwest. I say it's an apartment block. It must have been an office block at some point. It says Municipal Insurance House. Looks like a bath stone entrance there. Very nice. Looks like it's the offices of the Spectator magazine. Maybe Boris will go back there after he's finished being Prime Minister. Every street's got scaffolding in it. Let's hold her back for this van. Okay, just walk back towards Parliament Square and then perhaps along Whitehall. We're walking towards Parliament Square at the moment, around the back of the Queen Elizabeth II Conference Centre. It's a bit bumpy at the moment, that's because I'm walking on a brick pavement, which is pretty stupid of me. Westminster Abbey tolling there. Why the bell's ringing like that. Something happened that I'm not aware of. On this strange brick pavement. I don't know why they make a brick pavement for pedestrians to walk on. I like a bit of tarmac myself. Can't beat the smell of fresh tarmac. Okay, we're approaching Parliament Square. Looks like the 148s have gone back to going to White City bus station now. They were just going into Shepherd's Bush somewhere. I was waiting ages. I was trying to film some buses out of White City bus station during the summer. And I was waiting for the 148s. and there was no sign on the bus stop in White City bus station to say anything. Eventually I asked the bus station controller and he said no, they don't come here at the moment, they only go to Shepherd's Bush. But I asked him where in Shepherd's Bush and he couldn't tell me. If you want the easiest job in the world, apply to be a bus station controller at White City bus station. There's absolutely nothing to do there. The only useful thing about White City bus station is they have a toilet. Anyway, Westminster Abbey is still tolling, I don't know why, and that church in the background is St Margaret's Church, where the minor royalty get married. You know, your Prince Edwards and the like. Statue of Nelson Mandela. Sorry. Big Ben's still wrapped in scaffolding, which will be for the next 25 years. I don't know whether 148's changed operator recently. They've got electric buses now. They've changed operator. Anyway, if that route's going to White City bus station again, I must go and do that one. Fairly easy for me to get to White City bus station. Okay, we've got the usual sights here. Palace of Westminster. All of those honest, hard-working MPs and Lords. That building with the sort of fake chimneys on top, that's Portcullis House, where the members of Parliament and Lords have their offices. Portcullis House. In the background there's a memorial to Keith Palmer, the policeman who was killed there. Fortunately he was left unarmed defending the Palace of Westminster. Churchill. Can't cross over this way, can we? Cross over this way. Street, which at around about the cenotaph becomes Whitehall. While we're waiting. That's Westminster Bridge. We'll just walk along Parliament Street into Whitehall. Probably call it a day then. Along Parliament Street towards Whitehall. As usual, some stupid protests outside Downing Street. People have got nothing to do in their lives. Approaching the Cenotaph. Amazing how the police let protesters climb all over the Cenotaph. Do nothing about it. Absolute disgrace. The next one on the left is Downing Street with the gates, as you know. There's some protesters here on the right set up some sort of camp. Two people here at the moment. Keeping outside Downing Street. As usual, sirens along here. On the right hand side are anti-terror walls. They're not just pretty walls. They've got steel inside them to stop people driving their vans through them. The statue of Field Marshal Montgomery. To the women of World War II, which I always get a bit funny about because my mother was a woman of World War. My mother was a woman of World War II. However you say that. She was a driver in World War II. the statue from World War II, the days like out slim.
I think it's 36,000 or something like that.
So now we're in Whitehall. Once you pass the Cenotaph, you've moved from Parliament Street into Whitehall.
Yeah, and it was labelled over.
And I'm walking past the horse guards on the left. Oh, stupid people interfere with the horses. Towards Northumberland Avenue. Taking it the other way. We're in Horse Guards Avenue, walking towards Northumberland Avenue and the embankment. Okay, we're across from Whitehall Court. I think that will take us back into Northumberland Avenue. That's all these are government buildings, embassies and the like. Huge building on the road here. I'm not sure what this building is at all. Must be some government building. Probably Ministry of Defence or something, I don't know. Certainly a very ugly building.
So, how are you, Neve?
Right. I think I'm wrong. It's not Northumberland Avenue I've come back into. There's an interesting statue here we'll have a look at. I've never seen. This is a statue. The Green Berets. The Green... What's it? 1 second. Royal Tank Regiment Memorial Statue. Royal Tank Regiment Memorial Statue. This memorial statue depicts the crew of a World War II Comet tank, which was issued to the Royal Tank Regiment in 1945. The Comet had a crew of 5: commander, gunner, loader, hull machine gunner, driver. It was equipped with a 77mm high velocity gun powered by a 600 horsepower Rolls-Royce engine. The Comet proved to be highly effective against enemy tanks of the day. That's interesting because my dad was in the Royal Tank Regiment. He was a tank driver in World War II. Very good. His war ended when he was bombed by the Americans in Normandy. Fantastic. Not sure what street we're in here, but it is heading towards Northumberland Avenue. My geography's not that hot around here. Is it Whitehall Place, possibly? This is Whitehall Place. Somewhere. So I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll walk up onto one of the Golden Millennium Bridges, have a look, and I'll finish it there. Because I need to go home and download that 185 so I can try and get it published this weekend. I don't think I will because I'm working for the next 7 days. Anyway, we're in Northumberland Avenue. We're by Charing Cross station, and we're going to walk up one of the 2 Golden Millennium Bridges which straddle the Hungerford Railway Bridge. I'm sure you know about this bridge, these bridges. They opened in about 2000, I think. Made it. Golden Jubilee Bridges. Did I give it the wrong name? I can't remember now. Golden Jubilee Bridges. Okay, so there's 2 bridges either side of two pedestrian bridges either side of the Hungerford Railway Bridge. And the railway bridge is used as an extension of the platforms for Charing Cross station. On the other side of the Hungerford Railway Bridge, the eastern side, you used to be able to walk across it. There was a walkway across Hungerford Railway Bridge. It wasn't very pleasant, but you could walk across the bridge in those days. Of course, these bridges are fantastic. The Golden Jubilee bridges are a great improvement. So those are trains coming in and out of Charing Cross station. Okay, then we have a look across at the wheel. The Eye, that's what's called, isn't it? The Eye. I keep forgetting its name. General view upstream. Not a particularly nice day today. Yeah, they're still working on this Thames Tideway tunnel, the huge new sewer they're building. New sewer to sweep the shit away. Interesting, it's quite close to the Houses of Parliament. Is that coincidence or not? Something clicking open. Alright. That's the Hungerford Railway Bridge. I don't know why it's called Hungerford. There's the Thames looking upstream. The Eye. Palace of Westminster. All the developments in the background in Battersea area. Fine. Okay, I'm going to end it here because I need to get home. Thank you very much for watching.